Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I've now harvested all the broad beans and onions from this scaffold plank raised beds. In the playlist you can see how I built all these, how I set everything up. These are old pallet collars that are a little bit rotten, and they seem to last. Dry them out over the summer months and then we'll fill these full of compost again. And I'm so glad that I actually found these green metal plastic coated canes that the cannabis growers unscrupulously dumped. They've done me proud this year. And there's the broad beans. Hopefully I've got the crimson ones, but they do change with pollination. But the mice haven't found them there. And my poor pointed cabbages, because I haven't netted it, I haven't had time. The cabbage whites are having a field day, and as you can see, if we didn't find all those eggs, they soon hatch and start absolutely decimating Mrs. K's cabbages. So I'm not going to touch the... Oh, goodness gracious me. I'm going to take a few hearts, but I'm going to cut my losses and let the caterpillars do their business. They can eat the cabbage, poop it out. That'll save me composting it too much. It's Sunday the 4th of August 2024, and now we've got the temporary compost bins ready. I'll have to hoe those. All the radishes have gone to seed there. I need to cap off my giant wormery bin. I think there's about 1200 litres capacity. It is lined with some insulation, which the rats love to dig into. Never gave it a thought. But I want to get this capped off now, add a few more ingredients like we did before in a few layers. And then once the warm weather is over, which like it is just at the moment, it's a little bit cooler now, I can shut the bin down. But it's not sinking as much now, so we know we've got a good amount of material in there to harvest, ready for the potatoes in the spring. Right, so let's get a few ingredients in. First of all, I've got 3,867.5 worms in here. It's quite warm. The worms were at the surface, and I do try and get them out without hurting them. Some of the manure runoff, that black liquid gold, the aged urine, that isn't what I've just done, guys, honest. Coffee grounds, dried. Some leaf mould I had in a bin for the wormery, but I'm trying to reduce what containers I've got so I can get those in. These eggshells have got wet and they absolutely stink, so we'll put those in. That'll help the worms chew the food. Some log ashes. The tea from the tea bags that we dry out. Some kitchen scraps and weeds from home. And some 3-year-old wood chips. And then we've got the carbon that we found in that air filter that's been steeped in the manure runoff, and anything else that I can find. So hopefully this will be all nice and ready for the spring, as he tries to turn the tablet off with manure all over his fingers. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, so I shouldn't scare anybody off with my awful looking legs. That's the urine in. Bar gum, that does smell like something that you wouldn't want. Spilt all over you. Mind you, it's Sunday. I always have a shower on a Sunday, whether I need one or not. Log ashes. I keep forgetting to add log ashes to my mixes for my potatoes. I'm not putting my hands in the eggshells. Absolutely stinks fire. The weeds and kitchen scraps. Mrs. K's flowers that people have been sending her. I'm putting in all the leaf mould. Like I said, I do need to empty some of these tubs. Wood chips. Get the fork. The rats are going to love this over the winter. That's the tea. Coffee. Oops, handle's broken. But I've managed to get some more coffee. These are from 2021, I think. But I've managed to get some coffee grounds with this hot weather we've had. They've dried out nicely. If you don't dry your coffee grounds out, they just go green instead of looking like that all the way down the container. And of course, remember the dust. So we've got the manure runoff. This is what would normally run away if you've got it stacked up somewhere on your allotment or in the storage area. I'll collect all mine. So this is the manure that we actually took those juices from. Those 3,000 plus worms will love all that. The more food they've got, the more they will reproduce. And this is just breaking down nicely now. I'll be using this on my beds to top the beds up when we put the beds to sleep. With the personal issues I've got, I just haven't had the time to get up here like I want. Got to get the DIY all sorted so that Mrs. Oh, hello Mr. Mouse. How are you? Sorry to disturb you, but you can pop back a bit later. Is the mouse or a dormouse? Oh dear, he's gone. He ain't keen on some of those things that I've popped in. Not sure whether you actually saw him or not. Oh, don't want to spill this on me. But by soaking this carbon, biochar, charcoal, whatever you want to call it, in that liquid manure, it's drawn all the nitrogen out of that. If you add that without adding something to it, it draws all the nitrogen out of the ground. So I'm going to start using that. Got some cardboard that I've used elsewhere on the allotment that the worms have been playing with. This isn't insulated, but the sides are. As you can see, it's thick old cardboard this is. And it doesn't take long for it to rot down, as long as I remove all the labels, tape, etc. Absolutely fine. And then something new this year on my allotments, sheep's wool. So this is one, oh go on, I don't want to get too close to it guys. Should have unravelled it first. Oh dear me, we're in a mess here guys. As it starts raining. And I say it does rot down really well. So that should keep the rats, mice happy. I don't mind the rats going into my compost bin because they turn it when they're digging down looking for the food. This is why we shouldn't use kitchen scraps in our home compost bins, because it does attract rats and mice, etc. Even in the containers that are pre-made and they're insulated, they'll dig through the sides just to get to it. They eat through these at the bottom just to get at the kitchen scraps if I leave them up here too long. I don't think the top's going to sit down, so we'll just leave it for now. Then I won't touch that, I won't look at it, I won't do nothing, he says. But that's how I'm looking after my giant wormery. And any juices that come out of that I can pour in back at the top. You can't quite see those at the moment because everything else was battered around. So I need to clean all this out, get these wood chips levelled out, and then any juices that flow out of there I can get to. It's been overflowing again, but that's like the wormery juices. And those are probably what I collected when I first built it, thinking, oh, you know, these juices, I'll collect them. There's still 40 litres there I haven't used. I normally put this onto the wood chips to help it compost down. Hope you've enjoyed that. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. YouTube love it. And why not leave me a comment on your wormeries, worm farms, underground worm farms, whatever you like, and any subject you like. Join in with those comments, give those comments a thumbs up, and why not consider subscribing or unsubscribing. We don't mind here. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.